Two weeks left
2 weeks left for what?
until everybody votes are in.
Oh,
1 week.
6 days.
Yep.
Well, less than 2 weeks. Yeah.
And today, I think today was actually the last day that you could request a mail-in ballot.
Yes, it
Correct.
was.
Yes, it was.
Now,
I also seen today that people was trying to change their vote. That was a whole thing. If you voted already, there was something buzzing around on the internet or something somewhere. But I
But you
know
can
people was
change
glad
your
that
vote.
they had it in their mind that they could change their vote. They could go to their local place and ask for a provisional ballot or something. But the gag is if you already voted and you still do that, that provisional vote won't be counted. Your original vote will still be counted, so it's pointless. So that's false. Like you can't change your vote.
Todd, scoot over a little bit.
Once it's locked in, it's locked in.
Yeah. Yes. So that's false.
I wonder why
And
people would want to change their vote.
I feel like Trump tweeted some bullshit. And you know how people go when he tweets some shit, people take it and run with that shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that happened. You figure this because some of the people voted before even the debates happened. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The
Yeah, my vote was locked in after the first debate.
a lot of people might want to change their vote because you see a lot of people going back and forth even on social media about I'm gonna vote for this person, then I'm gonna vote for that person. 50 Cent just did it.
hmm my vote was locked in before there was even somebody else running up against him. How about that?
It's just get him out. Get him
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a
But
shame.
it
I'm
was
gonna,
just well, whoever was up.
I'm like cry when I put vote
You might cry. Why?
because like I don't want to vote for Joe. I really don't.
Well, I hope you take solace in the fact that you are voting for the greater good.
I know. I wouldn't say the greater good. Just you might be able to say more the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I keep
Yeah.
saying that. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. People say, everybody says we're tired of voting for the lesser of two evils, and I get it. But that's why we need to make a change and get mobilized and motivated for 2024 because we don't
Before I
want to
lock
have
it,
these same feelings at the end of the next 4 years.
hmm
but when you go to a restaurant, there's only certain things on the menu. What things are they going to put on the menu for us? That's the problem. I can't go to McDonald's and order a filet mignon if they ain't got it.
But at the same time, there were a plethora of things on the menu this time last year. People just didn't pay attention to those things.
Or the media highlighted who they wanted to highlight too.
So
Yeah, and but the shit that's on the menu right now is trash. And
Trash.
the person who
Who made
is
up the
writing up the menu don't even have a recipe for anything new to put on the menu.
but I feel
So
like we went back at this time last year. We were complaining about the number of Democrats who were putting themselves in the running to be president, and I feel like um, not enough of us took the time to become educated on each candidate's platform, and because it's really the people are able to elevate these candidates.
mhm.
So it because me and Tom, we were definitely supporters of Andrew Yang,
definitely, but
and
at the end of the day, it's not up to us though. It's up to the people. It's up. We got to all be on one accord, and that's this
mhm.
is gonna be hard to do because we all got different agendas and different points of views. So even though we might have liked Andrew Yang, there's a lot of people who like Bernie Sanders. And to what I was just saying to my girl the other night was I really came to terms of liking Elizabeth Warren. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It might have took a while for me to warm up to her. Like back then, I didn't really care too much about her,
Mm-hmm.
but now that I actually see how she talks and what she talks about, I actually do like her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's. I feel like the media know who they want to highlight, who they don't want to highlight,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then we got to be on the same accord. So if we do lift somebody like Andrew Yang, there got to be a whole bunch of people behind him. It can't just be like 3 or 4 people.
Well, I feel like after it did take a little longer for Andrew Yang to pick up some steam, and I felt like soon as he started picking up steam, he dropped out, which I got kind of disappointed at. Um, but once everything started happening with this pandemic, um, when we needed those stimulus checks, it started trending on Twitter. Yang was right.
He
Yang
was
himself
right.
like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't come to fruition in the way that he said it would, but ultimately,
But you know what would happen now, though, anyway, is even if Andrew Yang was president, they would never pass that because now you see what they got for the Supreme Court. There's they wouldn't pass we getting the what was that called? What was Andrew Yang's thing called?
the
Giving people the
universal
money.
basic income.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah.
but that don't have nothing to do with the Supreme Court. It would be the president and Congress, right?
But if they don't come to if the votes like it stands, to like the Supreme Court, the one who votes on it,
Mm-mm.
that's what I thought it would be. But
No,
Congress,
that's the
anyway,
problem with this. That's the problem with the second stimulus. That it's just at a standstill
that's
because
not gonna get.
the Republicans and different people are blaming Nancy Pelosi, saying she won't come to an agreement. The president wanted a stimulus check to come out now, and what I thought was interesting was Nancy Pelosi had an interview with Wolf Blitzer, and Wolf Blitzer was basically getting on her, talking about the American people need help. Why wouldn't you come to an agreement? Like, people are suffering, they need this money. And she was just telling him, like, you don't even know what you're talking about. When we're in them negotiations, like, you don't even know what's all included in that bill. She was saying what
Right.
you don't know is that in that same bill, he wants to cut the earned income credit and he wants to cut the child tax credit.
But that's why the
Yes.
whole bill
And
should
I
be
was like,
transparent.
yeah, Nancy, you was really looking out for the
Yes.
people because people
Yes.
would be happy about that $1,200 check now, and then come tax time, you're gonna be mad when you get like a
Right.
$300
Right.
tax return.
And shame on Walt Blitzer for trying to blame her. And it's not her. And I that shit just really gets under my skin when they point the blame at anybody else other than who it should be pointed at. She thank God for Nancy Pelosi because she's reading the fine print and the small print and not overlooking that shit because in the long run we would have been fucked. So I'm saying fuck that stimulus
Mhm.
and for real, there shouldn't even be no fight about giving people the money during a pandemic. There
No,
shouldn't be no there shouldn't be no slick shit in there. There shouldn't be no small print in there. Whereas though we gonna get fucked in the long run. We getting fucked now.
but ain't there
Like
still
Right.
that
like
shit is
ain't
crazy.
there still like 3 million people today get their first stimulus check? So
Man, it's a
crazy.
mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And even if they couldn't come to an agreement for as like there's just certain things that the president could have done and agreed with and kept it moving. They could have continued to give those people who are collecting unemployment, they could have still been giving them that extra money. They need that money.
You
Like
know
you know
what?
what I'm saying? Even if it was just for the unemployment.
Nah, you know what he's focusing on right now. He's focusing on changing that Affordable Care Act. That's the only thing he's
Yeah.
focused on.
Well, I don't
Because
even
he
think
got Obama's name
he's
on
not
it and he
focused on
don't
that
even have
right
a
now.
plan.
He's focused on getting reelected right now,
Well, yeah,
and he's gonna do whatever it takes to get reelected right in this moment right now. That so
Which
if
ain't
it
nothing. He
means
ain't doing nothing but going campaigning, talking shit on Joe Biden. He still don't got a plan. He do not have a plan. So his ultimate agenda is to get rid of that. That's his thing. And only because it got Obama's name on it, because he don't have any other. He don't have nothing else to replace it.
and the thing and that people who are for Trump don't understand, like, we're literally in the middle of a pandemic. What sense would it make for you to get rid of Obamacare or the Affordable
Any
Care
type
Act?
of health care.
Ozzy,
Any type of health care.
And
Ozzy,
nothing you
all
can
he
do to
doing is
replace it.
remixing the dope and putting a different stamp on it. That's all he trying to do. He gonna try, like you see, he's gonna try to take one thing out and change the name.
Mm-hmm.
Taking blue magic and putting night train on it.
Yeah, that's all he doing. That's all he doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
That's how racist it is. But
I feel like it's sad. It's really sad. It because people are still suffering. People are still, I just watched something the other day, and um, it was a black family and who thought that they were going to make it, like they were doing good during, like, you know what I'm saying, those couple of months, March, April, May, June, July. Now we on the backswing of the year, and everything is going to shit because they wasn't getting that extra money from unemployment. Like, you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
She's still not able to go back to work full, like it's still a mess. So now what they was able to maintain, they can't even maintain that no more. And there's no help in sight for them. So they lost their car. They gotta choose whether to get their ill child her medicine for the month and cut the grocery bill in half. Like that shit is crazy. Crazy.
for them to
And it was
allow banks to start being able to take back stuff is like foul right now. Like
right. And it was is what's even sadder is, it was a slap in the face for real, that first stimulus, because $1,200 wasn't enough. Like, you know
No,
what
it's
I mean?
not.
That was just like, here, so y'all can shut the fuck up real quick. Like, you
Mhm.
know what I'm
because
saying?
they was
Like,
talking
so
about giving it like wasn't it like supposed to be like every month or something like that?
And see, the
and
thing that, like, when you really looked at the numbers, it was really crazy to me that the stimulus, even the $1,200, that's based on having a minimum wage job. When for the last, I don't know how many years, we've been talking about how the minimum wage is not enough to live on in this country. So the
Did you
fact that
Mhm,
you would base a stimulus on the current minimum wage is insulting.
do you
mhm.
think the
That
reason
is a slap in the face.
everything is how it is because they fucked up with the PUAs and they trying to get their money back on the back end by overtaxing during tax time, and
So
they
are they
would
gonna
give
try
us
to
the
get it back?
12. They'll give us the $1,200, but on the back end, like you said, cutting the child uh, credits and stuff like that. You think that they'll just get all that money back if they actually did that?
But don't punish me. Don't punish me because I'm an essential worker. So I need that child tax credit and that earned income credit. I was an essential worker. I didn't get help. I didn't get no benefits. I didn't get the plus the extra shit. So don't cut shit in that. Don't
They
punish everybody
Yeah, they
for
fucked up
that
with
shit.
those $1 billion
Yeah. I
PUAs
need
like
all
that.
my
Those
come
businesses are getting
income
all that
tax time. I
PUA
need all
money.
my shit. All of it. So
The government
But
is like
It's
fucked
it's
up right now.
bad. It's really bad. It's really sad. And what people don't understand is, and they keep saying, like, I hate when ignorant people say ignorant shit. Like, oh, it don't affect me. It don't matter. It don't matter one way or another. Yes, the fuck it does. Yes, it does. And if it's not affecting you right now in this moment, it's definitely going to affect you in the future.
mm-hmm.
Like, you
See,
know what I'm
my
saying?
thing is though
So,
too. There's more stuff on there than just the presidency. There's the attorney general, and things like that that you got to make sure you paying attention to, even though they're not having debates and things like that. Find out who locally you actually do like and really vote for them. And
Right,
that's
right.
that's
attorney
where I'm at right
general,
now
state
with it.
representative.
I just told someone that today, like, because I feel like she said she was undecided on who she wanted to vote for, and if she's undecided to vote in voting for Trump or Biden, still don't not just go vote on all levels, go vote on the local level, go vote on the state level. All of that shit matters. All of that shit matters. So if you having a hard time with pulling the Biden lever or the Trump lever, because you know a lot of people they do go and they think they just hit the button and straight down.
Mm.
You can go through that and pick who individual. That's what I do. That's what
Well, you got to do it, especially now because the Democrat ain't a Democrat and the Republican ain't a Republican right
right,
now. The
right.
Right.
lines are
And
gray.
for instance, like you do have to look at how like in Pennsylvania, we got Josh Shapiro
Mm-hmm.
and for Attorney General and
Mm-hmm.
different senators. Like the one senator, I forgot what his name is, but he, when it came to the pandemic and stuff, he was regularly sending out emails, doing automated calls, telling people to listen to this. I want to keep y'all abreast of what's going
I
on.
remember that.
And I
Yeah.
felt like that was a really good thing, considering that
Mm-hmm,
we are in a time that people are just unsure of everything. At least he was like reaching out and having people attend these town
mm-hmm,
halls
And that's
so they
action.
know what's going on. And I
That's action, not
appreciated
just
that.
talking.
right, right, right. But people thinks that it don't affect them. Even it, mainly it be the people who be saying that shit who, I
Complain.
mean, they don't own no property, so they don't really know what it's really like to be affected by what's going on, even locally. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Because
people might not realize they ain't affected by it.
yeah, but they
Everything.
are because they are. Let me finish because it'll be the street. It'll be the person that's in the street or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna cast your vote even though you out here doing what you ain't supposed to be doing or whatever, not knowing that if you were to go cast your vote, your local vote for your mayors, maybe you wouldn't be getting pulled over all the time, and maybe all these crooked cops wouldn't be in your district because something would be done on that local level because you casted a vote for that mayor or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just locally. So that shit really boils my blood when people say like it don't. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Even
It
even that
does.
e- even with them wanting to what put a limit on how long you can have probation for, like laws and stuff like that. If you're in the streets, those laws should be important to you.
Period. Period.
But people got
Period.
laser focus on the presidential candidates. But
Yes.
I think a misconception that people have is that you don't have to cast a vote for every category either.
Right. Right.
So if
Right.
you say you're undecided in the presidency, when it gets down to the wire, you don't necessarily even have to pick in that category. I mean, it would be nice, but
Really nice if you did, but if not, just go vote. Don't just not go vote. Just go vote and do your thing and be good with that.
Because I'm telling
Like,
you right now, if Trump wins, they gonna try to run the dynasty. His son gonna run next.
well, you know what? I was talking to somebody today who was talking about how a lot of the states are talking about like boarding things up for next week because they feel like something's gonna go down. And I
even right
hadn't
here
really
in
thought about
Pittsburgh,
that, but
even right here in Pittsburgh, they already boarding up downtown Pittsburgh as we speak. They've been boarding up all week. Yeah.
When are
Because
they
I
gonna
feel
have the
like
accurate reading
either
on
way, either
ballots
way,
though?
it's gonna be bad. I feel like either way, it's gonna be bad. Either it don't matter who gets in there. If Trump get back in there, it's gonna be bad. And if Biden get in there, it's gonna be worse because he already got people on standby. Remember. So it's gonna be that either way.
yeah, I just I didn't I guess I didn't really think about it because I did vote. My vote was recorded maybe a week or two ago, probably 2 weeks ago. But I with when it comes to all the mail-in ballots and stuff like that, what they're saying is that we won't have an accurate tally of the votes until the beginning of December. It's like December 8th or 9th or something like that. So
Yeah.
People will gonna be on edge all month talking about the because a lot of them ain't allowed to report until they get the total there, right? A lot of they ain't gonna
so
be able to.
depending on what's going on, and you know but the beginning
And
of December is when the final count will be, and I'm guessing that it'll be down to the wire. And with a lot of the polls and them talking about Biden, I feel like you can't even trust that, because that's what they were saying in 2016, and Trump ends up our president.
Well, even with the mail-in vote, a lot of Trump supporters aren't doing that. They're doing they're going to be at the polls.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Which I feel like we should have got the day off for election day.
mm-hmm.
Because I know they are consolidating a lot of voting locations due to the pandemic.
be
So
careful on that day
some
too, man.
people some people may be in line for a longer period of time than they normally would have been. So I think they definitely should have made it a holiday and allow everybody to be off so that they can have an opportunity to cast their vote. Because what a lot
So
of
with
people
that
are
being,
doing, what a lot of people are doing,
sorry.
is we won't have hours to wait in line to vote.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, but as long as you're in line before 8 o'clock, your vote will count. Like if you got to stand there till 12, stand there till 12. Point being, vote. Get out there and vote.
So, what y'all think? What y'all
Not
think?
like your life depended on it, because your life do depend on it. So get out there because your life depends on it. So
so speaking of the candidates, what do y'all think about this whole hoopla that's been going on with Ice Cube and his contract with Black America, and him what happened is the Trump campaign, I forget what her name is, tweeted that they were working with Ice Cube, with his on their platinum plan or whatever. So basically they initially put it out. Then Ice Cube replied to that tweet talking about facts. He heard back from both campaigns, but the Biden campaign said that they would just talk to him after the election. And he talked to representatives from the Trump administration, and they were talking to him about points in his contract with Black America. So basically, I feel like people took that as Ice Cube was endorsing uh, Donald Trump.
in
With
this moment, that's what it feels like.
does it? I can see how people would feel that way. Um, because I wanted to get some understanding around what happened. I've watched several interviews with Ice Cube, and he is adamant that he is not endorsing anybody. Um, with him, I just feel like his heart's in the right place. I just feel like he did not do his homework well enough, and his timing was bad.
But
In my
why
opinion, I
don't you
feel
think
like
he
he
did
should
his
have waited
homework?
until. In my opinion, I feel like he should have waited till after the election, regardless, because you can't come 2 months before the election talking this
Or
with Black
my
America.
thing is, why you wait till now? Why you wait until now? Right
Mm-hmm.
before the election. So my point of view is you're endorsing him. Because anytime your name is in the same sentence with him, and I just feel like that's what it was in
No,
that moment.
it was the other way around, King. Yeah, the
What?
the Trump administration played him to get the black to try to get
They
the
used him as
black
a
vote.
pawn.
Yeah, they used him as a pawn. So um I don't vote Ice Cube at all just because I'm winning. Like whoever's in office needs to have this plan. Like we're naive if we just think Joe Biden's going to win. So I'm with Ice Cube as far as presenting it. But you're right, Jessica. The Trump administration knew exactly when to take this meeting.
Yeah, they knew what they was doing.
Right, and that's why I say the timing was off. I'm not mad at the contract with Black America. Also, I was watching Roland Martin when they had Ice Cube on there, and really it made Ice Cube look bad because it made him look really uneducated regards to a lot of the points that he had when it came to his platinum plan. What they discussed is, or what like Roland Martin brought to his attention was a lot of the points that you have in this contract with Black America. The Congressional Black Caucus has already had bills presented to Congress with the same points in it. The only problem is it got passed through the House and the Senate blocked it because of your boy Mitch McConnell. So had Ice Cube did his homework, maybe he would have done more work with the Congressional Black Caucus to see how maybe we can get these bills represented, if that's a thing, or something along that lines. But you weren't somebody who was an innovator as far as these ideas is concerned. These ideas came before you, but apparently you weren't aware of that,
And
and you
and it
felt like there
backfired on
must be
him
some
because
sort of
he
leverage.
took it upon himself to make a move to go to the heads himself instead of, like you said, doing his homework, and he went straight to the source, and it backfired on him. The one source said, "Wait," and the other source said, "Yeah, we'll take it on." And guess what? Here, Black America, look at Q. Don't y'all like him? Look what he's doing, and we're with it. We said okay, so it looks like a fucking what it look like. What it look like.
It's,
So it's bad move, Q.
yeah, I think when it came to his contract with Black America, he should have waited until after the election for both of them. At this point,
At this point,
yeah.
at this point,
But you already knew what it was about. He was gonna do the Diddy thing. If somebody promised him something, he was gonna try to sway the black vote.
Oh, but have you noticed that Diddy has changed his tune recently?
Yeah,
what do you what do you say?
Because you remember a few months back, Diddy was saying if Joe Biden doesn't do X, Y, and Z, if he doesn't,
you just don't gotta vote.
he's gonna withhold the black vote, which I don't understand why Diddy felt like he could do that anyway. I love me some Diddy, but Diddy,
Yeah, but you don't tell me what
not,
to do.
and this is a different time.
And I
This
don't
is
like the way Diddy did Total anyway, so I don't listen to Diddy. I don't like the way the fuck he did Total, so fuck that
What
nigga
he
for
did the
real.
total, man. Tell me what he did the total before you say anything else. What happened?
I mean, shit. They went. He did them like he did all of his artists. You know, they had number one hits and all of that, and then they just went. They went away. Hit Mace, call Mace, ask Mace, see what he did. Like fuck that, Diddy. Nah, don't control the black vote.
well, you
I'm
because
sorry.
and years ago, he had that whole big rock the vote campaign. So he
He
was
did.
able to
He did.
mobilize a lot of people, but this is a
He.
different time. And
Mm,
I don't really feel like you have as much influence when it comes to voting that you once did. However, recently I did see an interview with him and Charlemagne, and he's talking more along the lines of us having our own political party, creating a super PAC, which I was talking about before. I feel like would be the right thing to do for us going forward for the 2024 election. So I'm with him on that. I wasn't feeling him when he was talking about withholding the black vote because now's not the time, Diddy and whoever else was
mm-hmm,
talking like that. Now's not the time to
mm-hmm,
put that in people's heads. But moving
mm-hmm.
forward, this plan that you have for super PAC, own political party, all that stuff, I feel like that's a good idea. So
Yeah, now I'll be willing to listen to that then.
right. So now
I feel like
he definitely is telling people to support Joe Biden, which I mean, if we're talking Operation Get Trump Out of There, then I mean that would be the best thing to do.
Now, one thing I'll say for me, myself, and I'm not mad at whoever vote for whoever.
Mm,
I'm not. I'm not.
mm.
I mean,
Because
personally, it's not my problem. I take a lot of shit personal. Like, you know what I mean? And I shouldn't because it doesn't affect me one way or another. But ultimately, if it, like, I control me and how, my feelings and how, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I agree with you in that, Tavi. I gotta work on that with me. Like, you
Be
know what I
honest, like
mean?
I mean, the
I,
I got to
I
work
feel
on
like the
that.
way things are right now, if we are to be completely honest, when somebody say, I'm voting for Trump, you are looking at him with the side eye.
and
Yes.
I'm not looking at them with the side eye if they. The only time I start looking at them for the side eye if they start trying to make excuses for him and like he did a good job. But if they're still like on that, they don't like the other side. I kind of agree with them on that because I don't like the other side.
I can
Mhm.
understand that. I could receive that.
But when they start making excuses or talking about this is the best the country's, you know what I mean, or the COVID's fake news and all that stuff, that's when they start losing me. But
Mhm.
like the person is just being rational, like I don't know who to pick for, and I really think that Batten and Harris is pandering.
I mean,
Like,
honestly, do I think that Biden and Harris are pandering? Yes, I do. But I also feel like that the things that have transpired with this presidency over the past 4 years, I'm really looking at anybody who chooses to vote for Trump with a side eye because you're okay with giving us another 4 years that could potentially be worse than everything that has happened in the previous 4 years. And trust me, 2020
but
was a
who's
whole mess.
who's to say
For
that Batten
all
and
of
Harris
us.
will make it better though? It might keep getting worse.
You don't think
I
that they
don't
can have
think it might not get any better, but I don't think that they can do any worse than what the fuck is going on now. I'm willing to take
I
that
mean,
gamble.
I will agree with you with all the mishaps and all that, but as far as like
miss
policies and
you're
things
calling them
changing to
mishaps?
benefit us, I don't think that that's going to fly either. Like I just feel like,
Mishaps.
Mishaps though? You calling them mishaps?
I mean, goof ups, whatever you want to call it.
Goof ups?
Oh,
Yeah,
That's what we're calling them.
they was goofy to me.
Now, mind you, because even if we X out the whole pandemic, which is a huge thing, and the mishandling of the pandemic is a huge thing. So people should not vote for him on that alone. So, all right, fine. We'll even ignore that. I'm thinking about you done separated the kids from their families at the border. Even
But,
now, we're talking
but
about this right now. They're like, half, y'all don't even know where half these kids, some of these kids' parents is. Like, what? Shut down the government. Folks was not getting paid because you wanted to
mhm.
come to an agreement on building this wall with Mexico that was never going to happen in the first place. And that's one of the
it's
promises you
still,
gave the
it's
people
still.
during the 2016 election that you know you wasn't going to be able to follow through with, but you kept stringing them along and stringing them along, and it didn't happen. Not only, and you said we're going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. Fine. If all the racist people felt like they wanted to believe that you could even actually make Mexico pay for this wall that you're promising everybody, all right, y'all done roll with that lie. Now we seen that
It's
that
just
ain't
been
gonna
too
fly.
many lies. It's just been too many lies. And my whole thing is he still don't got a plan. He still don't got a plan. So how can you put your vote into like even though you said you undecided and you gonna still pull that Trump lever? He still don't even got a plan. What you voting for? What plan? What you voting for?
So basically,
Anything,
you say
any of his debates, any of his little rallies are up there. He couldn't even answer a direct question even in the debates when they asked him clearly, what is your plan? He I still don't know. What is it?
As far as what?
Crickets to undo Obamacare. That's what I do know. That's
That's
his
the only thing.
plan. Is to
That's
undo
all he talking about.
Obamacare.
The only thing
Like
he
that is
talking
his
about.
plan.
And getting the businesses back up and running. That's all he,
And keep the richer rich and fuck the poor.
he
Keep
want
the
to keep.
richer rich and fuck the poor. That's his plan because the
Also,
poor is beneath him.
also another thing is too, he does believe in the whole concept of herd immunity. So what that means is we just go ahead and let things go the way that they've been
It's been
going.
fuck COVID.
Huh?
Been fuck COVID. Like you don't give a fuck about that code. Like you don't care.
No,
And he
but
and he beat it.
the whole
So
the whole herd immunity thing is basically a survival of the fittest. So your sick grandma, Chuck is saying, forget her. You know,
yes.
we looking for all the strongest survive and the strongest is going to be immune after this is all said and done.
It's not on the beat.